If you're going to run Facebook ads to your website to generate sales or leads, the first thing you need to do every time is install your Facebook pixel. Because without it, you won't be able to track any of your results. So in this video, I'll show you how to easily set up your Facebook pixel the right way, step by step. Hey everyone, it's Axel here. So before I show you how to install your Facebook pixel, I'll just run you through quickly what it does. So the Facebook pixel is a piece of code that you add to your website. And if you see my screen right now, it comes either as a code or as a single dataset ID like this down right here. So this little piece of code is what you install on the back end of your website, and it's what enables you to see what people do after they click on your ads. So whether you're wondering if these people clicking on your ads are completing a purchase or filling out a form or just browsing on your website or bouncing right away from your website, the Facebook pixel is what will enable you to see these things. So this is super important because this is what shows you whether your campaigns are working well or not. And more specifically, it'll also show you which ad groups are performing well, as well as what specific ads are working well, which will enable you to optimize your ads correctly down the line to make your campaigns more efficient and get you better results. Also, nowadays, Facebook ads are actually very reliant on the data coming in from your ads. So what I mean by this is when you set up a campaign, you'll be choosing an objective. And the objective you choose is dependent on what you're trying to achieve with your ads. So usually the objective comes as either a form fill sign up or as a lead or purchase or something of the sort. But this objective is being tracked by the pixel, and it's essentially what you're telling Facebook that you want to get more of. And so what happens is with the Facebook pixel, the more of this data and the more of the results that come in, the more the ad platform can focus on who to show your ads to in order to improve your results. So whether if you're wondering which ad is performing best, or if you should double your budget, or if you should cut back on your ad spend, having the Facebook pixel correctly installed on your website is what's going to enable you to answer these important questions. Now here's how to install it. For this video, I'm going to assume that you already have a Facebook Business Manager account set up, as well as an ad account set up within this business account. For this video, as an example, I'll be using this account right here. This is a water sports company, and we're trying to sell more memberships and season passes by the use of Facebook ads, where we bring people to a landing page which looks like this, where people can essentially purchase a membership or a full season pass. So the goal for the Facebook ads in this account is to get as many of these sales as possible. To set up your Facebook pixel, the first thing you want to do is go into your events manager. Once you're in your ads campaign dashboard, what you want to do is hover on the left right here and scroll down until you see the events manager and click on that tab. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you're selected under the ad account and not the business account. So right here, I'm selected on the correct option, so make sure that that's done as well. And so your screen might look a little bit different than mine right now, and that's because I already have a data source installed. If you don't have one, yours is going to look a little bit more blank here, and it's going to prompt you to create one. Whereas if you do have a data source installed, then you should see something similar to my screen right now. Because of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this video into two different parts. Part one is where I'm going to show you how to install the Facebook pixel if you already have a data source in place. And part two, I'll be showing you how to create a data source from scratch in case you don't have one already. So if you already have a data source created, what you want to do is go into your data sources right here. So there's two different ways to install the Facebook pixel, and it kind of depends on what your website provider is. Because some website providers will ask you for just the pixel ID itself, whereas other more custom websites like WordPress, for example, will sometimes ask you for an entire code that will go in the head section of every single page of your website. But I'm going to show you how to do both. So the first way is if your website is asking for only a Facebook pixel ID, what you want to do is just grab the pixel ID, and you can find it right here. So if you're in your data sources and you scroll and go down to the right here, you can see the dataset ID. So this is the number that you want. So you want to just click and copy to your clipboard, and from there go to the back end of your website, and where it's asking you for the Facebook pixel ID, you just want to paste it in there and then click save, and then that ID should be installed on every single page of your website, meaning that your pixel is correctly installed. A more full custom website will sometimes, however, ask you for a full metapixel code. So in order to find this full code, what you want to do is click on manage integrations right here. Then you want to go under metapixel and click on manage and install pixel on a new website. Then click on install code manually. It'll say copy your base codes. So what you want to do is you want to copy this code. Then you want to go into the back end of your website, and where it prompts you to add this piece of code, you want to add it there, click save, and then from there your Facebook pixel should be correctly installed. It's worth noting that most website providers will have a field where it's easy to copy and paste paste this into. So if you're using Wix.com, for example, you just go into the settings or the conversion settings or tracking settings, they're often called, of the backend of the website, and you'll often see a head tracking code field where you essentially paste this code in. On a website that's built on WordPress, you often have to download a Metapixel type of plugin, and then from there you can install the pixel code, but the idea is the same. You want to grab this piece of code and just add it to the backend of your website. So this is the second part for those of you who don't already have a data set created. So here's how you create one. What you want to do is go on the top left and click on Connect Data. And the first thing it asks you is how people interact with your business. So most of you are probably going to be a web-based event. So you want to click on that first option and then click on Continue. From there, it's going to ask you to connect your data. So you're going to create a new data set right here, and then you're going to name it something like Facebook dataset, and then click on Create. And so now we have our data source created. So all we have to do is grab that pixel ID or the whole pixel code and add it to the website. So this is the same thing as the first part of the video. If you're prompted to just have a Facebook pixel ID, this is the ID that you want. So you just want to copy and paste that onto the back end of your website. If it's asking you for an entire code, it's a little bit different this time. All you want to do is just go down here and click on Set a Metapixel, and then click Install Code Manually. And then from here, what you'll have to do is you'll have to copy the base code, and just like in the first part of this video, you'll just have to paste that into the correct place on the back end of your website. And so now, whether you had a data set already created or not, you should have your Facebook pixel correctly installed on your website. The next thing we want to do now is create different events within this data set, but before we do that, we just want to double check that our pixel is correctly installed. So for this step, what I recommend you do is that you download the Metapixel Helper Chrome extension, which looks like this. And then once you have that Chrome extension installed, what you want to do is you want to go into your website and just click on it, refresh the page, and what's going to happen is it's going to tell you if your Metapixel is installed or not. So to double check this, I can see that on this website now I have the pixel ID of this number that is installed on this website, and I just want to double check that this number matches with my original dataset number, which is this one. And if I zoom into this and compare it to this number right here, I can see that both of those numbers are equivalent to each other, and that therefore the Facebook pixel is installed correctly on the back end of this website. Just like that, your Facebook pixel should now be correctly installed, and the next thing we'll need to do is to create events within that data set. So before we continue with this video, if you're finding this video useful so far, be sure to give it a like and a subscribe. That way you're updated on all my newest videos to come. So now it's time to start setting up some events within your data set. So if your data set is correctly installed, you should now have a dashboard that looks something like this. So an event in Facebook is essentially a goal of a campaign. So whether it's a lead, a purchase, an add to cart, a button click, or anything of the sort, that's essentially an event that is being tracked from the Facebook pixel, and it's something that we want to track because from these events, we'll be able to tell how many of them happen for each of the campaigns that we're running, and it's what's going to allow us to see if our campaigns are performing well or not. Nowadays, on some website providers, once you've correctly installed your Facebook pixel, you won't need to create any events in some cases. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but in certain cases, you don't have to do it because the Metapixel on the website provider will start to automatically recognize the events happening on your website for all of the events that have happened since you had your pixel installed. So as an example, I recently set up this pixel right here on this website right here. And if I scroll down here to my events page, what I can see is since I installed this pixel, I can see that 447 people viewed this page specifically right here. I can also see that 78 people initiated a checkout, another 38 added an item to the cart, and that we had a total of 26 purchases. So I didn't actually have to do any of this manually. What happened is that I installed my Facebook pixel, and from there, the website provider and Facebook ads together automatically started to recognize which event types were which, and it automatically started populating and segmenting my different event types. However, this is not the case for every single website provider, and sometimes you will have to create these events manually. So in order to do this, what we want to do next is go into the events setup tool and manually set up our events so then Facebook can correctly track our results within our ad campaigns. So in order to add events, we want to go into the events setup tool. So what you want to do is click on settings up here and scroll down until you see the events setup tool and click on open event setup tool right here. And then what you want to do is you want to copy and paste the URL that you will bring the traffic to from your ads, and then click on open website. And so now I'm on the website where I'm bringing ads to. So you can see that in the event setup tool right here, I can see that it recognizes no events found on this page right here. So let's say as an example that I want to add the initiate checkout as an event to my Facebook dataset. What I want to do right here is I can see that up here that no events are found on this page. And what I can do is add this to the cart right here and proceed to checkout. And so now I initiated a checkout and I can see that no events are found on this page. And so if I I wanted to add that step I just did as an initiate checkout, what I can do is I can set up that event as a track a URL type of event, which I can click on right here. And so now once I select that option, what it's going to prompt for is select an event. So if I clicked on add to cart and then proceeded to checkout, that event type is called an initiate checkout within Facebook ads. So what I can do is select that one right here, which is initiate checkout, specifically when the URL equals this. So the URL will equal this and only this once you have added something to the cart and initiated your checkout. So essentially anyone who has viewed this URL, that means they have initiated a checkout. So whenever someone views this, I know that my event should trigger there. So the URL equals this, which is good, and that'll trigger an initiate checkout. It's then going to ask you for a value. So since this one is not a purchase event, but it's just an initiate checkout, so no money has been exchanged yet, I don't want to add a value to this. But let's say you were tracking a purchase event of $50, then you'd want to maybe choose a value and make it $50. But for this case, I'm going to leave that blank. And once you're done with that, you can select confirm. And then from there, if you go back into your data sources right here, you should see that you should have an initiate checkout that is now created as an event. And once it's properly set up and that it's been triggered a few times, you should also see a green active down here. So that's how you set up an event. You can set up different types of event. I did an initiate checkout there just as an example, but you can do the same thing for a lead, a purchase, a button click, or anything you want really. And in some cases, you won't have to do it at all. It'll just automatically populate with the events that it recognizes itself. Either way, once you've set up your events, you just want to make sure that these events are triggered correctly and that you want to test your events. So in order to test your events, what you're going to do is you're going to click on this tab up here and click on test events, and it's going to give you two options, and you want to click on confirm your website's events are set up correctly. And then from here, you will want to copy and paste the URL that you're bringing traffic to and click on open website, where it will open that tab. Now on the left, if I go back to my tab right here, you can see that the events being received will start to populate down here. So it just noticed that a page has been viewed, and so the page view custom event has popped up because of that, because I viewed this page right here. Now let's say I add this to the cart. Let's see if Facebook ads recognizes this. If I go back to my tab, I can see that an add to cart was initiated and that it recognized that. So I can see that my add to cart event is working correctly as well. Next step, if I'm initiating a checkout, I can click on this button and from there go back into Facebook ads and see if that worked. So I can see that an initiate checkout happened and also a page view happened. And a page view happened because this page is different to the previous page that I saw. So we currently have two different page views, an add to cart and an initiate checkout, because all of those different steps happen. So I can see here that my events are working perfectly well. And this is what you want to make sure that is happening in your case as well. And so whatever the end goal of your campaign is, whether it's a lead or a purchase, you want to make sure that that event specifically and all the little events leading up to that event, so whether it's a click or a page view, all get processed correctly. That way everything is getting tracked correctly. So once you've done this correctly, you should now have your Facebook pixel correctly installed on every page of your website, and then every single event that can happen is also getting tracked. Now, the final thing you want to do is select one of these objectives when you build your first campaign. So chances are, if you're doing lead generation, that your goal is going to be a lead. If you're doing e-commerce or something similar to this account, that your end goal is going to be a purchase. And so you just want to make sure that that end goal is set as the objective to the campaign. And so to do that, what you want to do is go left on your menu right here and click on campaigns, and you're going to start by clicking on create a new campaign right here. Let's say I was redoing this campaign and that I'm going for purchases of this water sports company. I'm going for purchases here, so my objective is sales, and I'm going to skim through this next part just so that I can show you where you add the event as your objective within the campaign. So I'm just going to click on continue here. The objective that you choose specifically and the data set that you're choosing it from is selected within the ad set level. So what you want to do when you're creating a campaign is go to your ad set level and then scroll down, and under conversion, it's going to ask for a conversion location. So our conversion location is actually a website event. Specifically, it's going to ask you for a performance goal. So I want to maximize the number of conversions coming from this campaign, and then it's going to ask for a data set. I'm going to select this data set right there. And finally, it's going to ask you for the conversion event that you want to optimize for. So here, I'm not optimizing for initiate checkouts like I did in my example or for a lead. I'm trying to get as many purchases as possible. And so that is the conversion event I want this campaign to aim for. So what I want to do here under this data set is select that event, and I will click on purchase and then just complete my ad build, but that'll be for an entire different video. This purpose is just to show you how you connect that event to a specific campaign. So if I were to go ahead with this and then finish my ad build, I would then have an entire Facebook ads campaign, which is optimizing for a purchase goal, which is a custom event that I built out within that data set, which was installed on my website by installing the Facebook pixel on the back end of that website. And so there you have it. That's all you need to do in order to correctly set up your Facebook pixel on the back end of your website. Hopefully this video has been useful and it allowed you to set it up all by yourself. If you're still having trouble setting up your Facebook pixel and would like me to do it for you, or if you just wanted me to manage your ads for you, then you can feel free to book a call using the link in the description below. And if you have any questions or feel as if I missed out a crucial piece of information, you can feel free to drop that into the comments as well. Other than that, hopefully this video has been useful and I'll see you on the next one.